Have you ever just sat and just pondered about this question, who am I? I know for a fact for me, I've always sat down and just wondered, who am I? Sometimes in the past, it was such a difficult question to answer because I didn't quite know who I was and I didn't quite know how to express myself. And so, a lot of times when we are faced with that question, it makes us want to sit down and get to know who we truly are. Who did God create me to be? And I'm not talking about your past self, I'm not talking about your future self, but who are you today? Understanding who we are is about us taking time, like I said, to get to know who we are, to spend some time with ourselves, to have self-awareness of who we are, self-discovery of what we're capable of doing, and just our identity. And I know we all know Jesus died on the cross and he suffered and died so that we can have a new identity, and our identity is in him. And so he said we are fearfully and wonderfully made. We are special. We are his chosen people. We are particular. We are different. We're unique. He created us to be set apart, to be not like the world, but he created us to be different. And so sometimes as we are thinking of who we are, what makes you different from other people? What makes you stand out against other people? As for me, I know who I am. It took a lot of time discovering that, but I know that I am a compassionate person. I know that I'm a loving person. I know that I'm a nice and sweet person. I know that I'm a giving person. I know that I am a hard worker. I'm an achiever. And I know there's some things that I need to work on. That is a part of my character that I need to clean up. So like, for instance, I'm a people pleaser. Sometimes that's good and sometimes that's not healthy for a person. But there's different parts of our lives that demonstrates who we are. A lot of times God will put us through trials and tribulations because he wants to develop the character inside of us. And so we cannot push away pain. We cannot push away altercations. We need those in order to discover who we are. We need those opportunities and moments so God can show us who we are. God already knows who we are, but he wants to reveal it to us. And so as children, as people of God, as believers, if you're a believer or non-believer, just a person, you gotta be willing to struggle sometimes. You gotta be willing to get in the valley sometimes, because what that produces is character. And God is always after our heart. And where character begins is in our heart. He wants us to change us from the inside out. And so as you're thinking of some of the events that God has brought you through, some of the things that you have went through that revealed your character, I want you to put in the comments, let me know who you are. I want to see what type of person God has created you to be. Because we are all different. We are all unique. But even in our uniqueness, we are all still one because we are children of God. And so walk boldly in your difference. Walk boldly in who God created you to be authentically. And so yes. And so on my social media, I asked my family and friends to give me questions because I want people to know who I am. And so they asked a bunch of questions. So we're going to do a quick Q&A so you get to know who I am and get the opportunity to see me in my authentic self. I'm give you forewarning, I am unique, but I'm unique in God's eyes, and I'm a unique person. So I look forward to you guys getting to know who I am. And again, remember to put in the comments who you are. I look forward to hearing who you are as well. My favorite color is purple. I do like different types of colors. Like I like warm colors like the fall, one of my favorites. But if I had to choose one color, it would be purple. Three foods I could not live without. Ooh, I love bread. I'm such a bread lover. I love like chocolate is another one I couldn't live without. I know it's not healthy, and I know I need to get more healthier, but those two are my favorites. I do also like um, side dishes. I'm not much of a meat eater. I don't like meat much, but I do like the sides dishes, like pasta, macaroni, cheese, just different things like that. Favorite movie? Oh my goodness, I love movies. My favorite type of movies are sci-fi. I love romantic movies. I love comedy movies. I love movies with action. And so out of that genre, I like lot of different types of movies. But my most important thing about movies, I love a movie with a good message. And so like some of the movies I like is Avatar. I love their love story of just how two different worlds coming together. Divergent, again, just a different world working together. Different factions, I believe it was called. But it was again another love story, full action. And just very unique story. And so I give it up to the writer who wrote the book first, and then later did the movie. But if you haven't watched that one, you got to check it out. Another movie, Jumping the Broom, Stump the Yard. I also love Jumanji, again with Robin Williams, the old one, but then I like the newer one with Kevin Hart and Dwayne Johnson. Fabulous. I watch it anytime I can. Just when I want to get a good laugh, please check that one out. I'm trying to think what else. There's so many different types of movies I enjoy. Again, just something that I can just spend time with family and just enjoy a good movie. So please check those movies if you have not already. Who is the best sibling, brother or sister? That's a hard one for me. While growing up, my parents always encouraged us not to play favoritism and say who's better than the other one, but they pretty much treat us all the same. That we didn't have favoritism, so it's hard for me to choose like who is my favorite brother or sister because I love them all dearly. But the cool thing what God did, he kind of paired us together. And so like my older brother Steve and Tree, they were like right by each other, paired together. The twins, again, paired together. And then my older brother Courtney and my sister Ches, they're paired together. And then me and my little brother Caleb. And it's just cool how God ordained it that way. And my mom always dreamed about having a big family. And so God blessed her with that. And she always wanted to have an even number. She didn't want an odd number. She wanted someone to always be with someone as they were growing and evolving and all those different things. So God answered her prayer, and we all have someone to pair up with. But to answer the question, no favorites. We are all the same and all equal. But good question. Things that get under my skin. This is another good question. I've noticed lately, as I'm just evolving, as I'm getting older, I know one of the things that really do get under my skin is when I see someone using the lack of integrity. It really does something to me, and it does get under my skin, and I notice that it's probably like the reason why it gets under my skin, because it's something that I need to do for myself as well. That I need to be a person of integrity. I need to be a person of my word, and be a person who is dependable and can be trusted. You know what I mean? And so it was just like a mirror. Some of the things that we get upset about are as speaking to some of the things that we have deep down inside of us. And so that was one of the things that I noticed. gets under my skin, and I have to be careful because there's another side of Shayla that I try to keep sweet and be sweet and positive, but sometimes when it does get under my skin, it's like another side of me, and I'm right now I'm in therapy, just really trying to use my integrity, be honest, but do it in a healthy way. And so, yeah, that's one of the things that does get under my skin, but it's something that I know personally for me that I got to work on too. My next seminar, woo woo. So the next seminar, for my church, we do women empowerment, and our next women's conference will be in September of 2024, so next year. But for the YouTube channel for this Living Whole movement, I have 2 events that I have in mind. One is going to be a free event. It's going to be called Debt-Free Living. Debt-Free Living is going to be an event where I am just going to do my debt-free scream and have fun games for people to enjoy. And it's just going to be a fun time. I want to encourage other people to get out of debt as well. It's something for us to have ownership. It's something for us to have the freedom and not to be held down with financial burdens. So that's one of the events. The other event is a women's retreat. I want to go out into nature and have not just, I was thinking just for women, but I think I want to do it for women and men. So I'm going to call it like a Living Whole retreat, where we just come, spend time in nature, spend time with ourselves. We can cry, we can do all the different things to really get to the core of who we are, and then have some other fun things available for us to enjoy. But it's going to be a retreat. It's time for us to get out into nature and just enjoy the life that God gives. So one of the places that I visited was Tennessee, because my brother lives there. I just like the community there. I enjoyed myself every time I go out there to visit my brother. So that's one place that I enjoy visiting. I also, with my sisters, we have a group called Sankey Sisters, and we just kind of travel in our community. But we were asked to sing in California, and so that was my first time experiencing California. I love the weather. It was just a nice scenery, and so I would like to go visit that place again. All right, where do I get my sense of humor? I'm not funny at all. I think I get it from both of my parents. My dad, he's more outgoing. He's more, he would try to be more of a jokester in public. And so I kind of get that kind of vibe from my dad. My mom's more reserved. She's more quiet. But she's also funny. So it's like an even balance for me. I'm a little bit funny, but then I'm just boring. But I do have fun though. When also like being around kids, you have to be funny. You have to have fun. So that's one of the things my kids always tell me, you're crazy. And I was like, yes, I am. Something I do on my passing time that I'm just kind of spent my me time. One of the things I love to do is just sitting in silence. I just like to be at peace. So a lot of times I would just sit with no TV, just sit in silence, just trying to write down everything that's like going through my head. I like to listen to music. It's one of my favorite things. I like to watch movies. I like to read books, listen to different podcasts. I do a lot more than reading books, but I know I need to read more. But I enjoy podcasts. And then I believe that's it. Something people don't know about me. Well, in my childhood, I was very kind of reserved, very quiet. I didn't do singing. I didn't do any kind of public thing. I just was no way, like I'm not doing it. And so People always ask me, like, when did you start singing? Well, I didn't start singing until um, my high school year, years, I would say. I would think probably like junior or sophomore year. And then I didn't start like leading songs until I was in college. So like my brothers and sisters, they're all in like music class, choirs, and all that stuff. But I was like a late bloomer on that. It wasn't my cup of tea. But now looking back, I'm just grateful how much God has brought me through, and how much He has developed me, from like where I've started to where I am today. It's totally two different people. And so yeah, that's something you probably didn't know about me. My dream job, I would say, is more entrepreneurial. I want to be able to do a lot of different things. I notice one of my skills is teaching. I love teaching. I've been teaching preschool for a lot of years, about 13, I would say. But I noticed that I wanted to do more than just teach preschool. I also preach another type of teaching at my church, but I want to do more, and so in the season that I'm in, I just want to try different, see what other talents I have, to make different types of streams of income, multiple streams of income. And so for future, I would like just to have like the freedom to just do what I want to do in that season. And so if I wanted to write a book, then I could do that. If I wanted to go sing and tour with my sisters, then I can do that. If I wanted to be a caregiver like I am for my grandparents or my family, I can do that. If I wanted to write songs, then I can do that. And I can do that today, but for my dream job, I want to just have that freedom just to be able to do what I feel like in that season. One of the things I always wanted to be an author and write children's books, and also write adult books as well. Write Bible studies, do motivational, all those different things, Christian-based kind of books. But just so I don't exactly know exactly what I want to do as my final dream job, I just know I want to do a lot of different things and just have that freedom to do it in the season that God has called me to do it. And so, yeah, that's my dream job. One of the things that I struggle with over the years that I'm trying to get better at doing is advocating for myself. I'm such a giver. I'm always loving and on people and stuff like that, but sometimes I don't set time for myself. I don't set time for just advocating for me. And so that's one of the things that I'm working on, is showing up for me, and some putting myself first sometimes, when it comes to like decisions, things like that. I just need to do a better job at it, because God gave me this body for a reason. It's my job to steward it well and to take care of it. And so I just got to advocate for me better. One of the examples that I've noticed that I need to do this a lot better in is my time management. I'm not a good person on time. I'm always late, and I guess because I have so many brothers and sisters that I've always just followed, and wherever they said to go, then I go. Like, I was not time conscious. And so now I'm being more time conscious of how I'm using my time. I need to do better at that. But I noticed, like, if I give other people rides and to places, that I'm more accurate on time when it's their time. But when it came to me, I would kind of neglect it. And so I wouldn't, like, just not really care. But I've noticed now that my time is so much important, just like their time is. So just a FYI for you, if you are late like me, just remember that your time is just as important as theirs. And so set some time for yourself, and advocate for who God created you to be. So what am I allergic to? Well, I'm allergic to seasonal allergies, stuff like that. But I found out that I'm allergic to shellfish. So shrimp, like crab, stuff like that, I can't eat. I can eat fish, but anything with shell, not a good thing for me. I did have one incident a couple years ago that my sister made like a pasta with shrimp, and I was loving it, and like a few minutes right after I've eaten, my throat started itching and hurting, and I could barely talk, and then they were wondering like what is going on. It wasn't funny, but it was funny looking at it now. But yeah, I can't eat those type of foods. Some of the favorite books that I've read. I like, again, books that are encouraging, have a good message and uplifting. So one of the books that really encouraged me was Wholeness by Pastor Tori Roberts. I just love that book. It was just teaching us just how to become whole. And so that was kind of like the drive of this YouTube channel, is how to become whole. And so I will be sharing some of the things that he said in the book on this channel. So be on the lookout. And then an also book that I've read is Crazy Faith with Pastor Michael Todd. I do want to read his new book, Destroyed, Damaged but Not Destroyed. That's coming out or that is already out. But I would look forward to reading that book. Another book that I have read is Purpose Driven Life by Pastor Rick Warner. That was a good, as I was starting my ministry with God, that was a good book of just understanding my purpose. So if you haven't had a chance to check those books out, please do. They are great. And another book that I want to read that I'm on the verge of getting is Garden Within with Dr. Anita Phillips. I'm so excited about that book. If you have already purchased that book, please let me know in the comments. But I'm looking forward to reading that book as well. So my favorite scriptures, I have two, Psalms 1 verse 3 and Jeremiah 29:11. I'll read those real quick for you. Psalms 1 verse 3 says, "He is like a tree planted by the streams of water, which yields its fruit in season, and whose leaf does not wither. Whatsoever he does prospers." And so that has just always been my prayer, is just to be like a tree that's planted by the rivers of water, planted, have a fertile foundation, a solid foundation in God. And that just like we need water daily, like I need God daily, and I don't want to live a life without him. And so that's just a reminder for me to, if I'm getting so busy about everything else, just to stop, get in the presence of God, and just to sit there and allow him to pour into me. And so, yeah, that's one of my favorite scriptures. The other one is Jeremiah 29:11, and that says, "For I know the plans that I have for you, declares the Lord, plans to prosper you and not to harm you, plans to give you a hope and a future." And so just basically what it just said, God's plans are not to harm us, but it is to give us a future. It is to give us hope and joy. And so I need to be reminded that the plans that he has for me is for me, and they're not to hurt us, but to develop us, is to make us better. And so yeah, those are my two favorite scriptures. My favorite genre of music and my favorite artist are, favorite genre I would say is gospel. I listen to that 24/7. Many different artists. I love learning about different music and different artists, upcoming artists. So that's one of my joys, to observe and get to know different artists and their different types of music. Well, the cool thing about gospel, you can still have genres inside of gospel. So I like the gospel rap. I'm starting to listen to more. I'm doing a little bit more with like the country, with the gospel country, and I love African music, and I just like learning different types of music. As it refers to artists, my favorite female artist, hands down, is Miranda Curtis. I just love her worship, so sincere. She comes ready to worship, and so that's my favorite thing about her. I love also her jazzy vibe that she gives when she sings. So yeah, Miranda Curtis is one of my favorites. And then as for the men, I like Melvin Crispell, Todd Delaney, Todd Galbraith, Kirk Franklin, um, uh, let's see, PJ Morton, and Molly Music, all of those different types of singers. Yeah, those are my faves. So those are the people that I listen to on a constant basis. But yeah, how my dad inspires me. I just love the fact that how passionate my dad is. Like whenever we need him, he is there. I love the fact that he's just so loving. Like any person that he comes in contact with, he's talking with, joking around. He loves to have conversations with people. So that's one of the things that inspires me to get out of my shell and to be more vocal and to talk and just to really have relationship with people. So that's one of the things my dad inspires me, just the love that he has for people. And so I want to be able to show that same thing that I see with him. How my mom influences me. Every day she just influences me to want to become a mom. She just, how she loves on people. Again, like with my dad, she loves children. Like to see my mom come alive is interacting with kids. And so that's where all of my sisters, because all of us are teachers, all 5 of us, we all got that attribute from my mom and from my dad, because my dad is a teacher but preacher. But in the education space, my mom is a teacher, and we all have that desire and that hunger to want to teach young children. So I've learned a lot from her, and just the fact, like I said, just being a mom, I get to see how she is as being a mom, and it's just so rewarding, and it just makes me want to be a mom one day, just so I could be just like my mom. She's like the peace within the house. She keeps, because she's quiet and reserved, but she keeps peace, and when she needs to speak, she'll speak. But she keeps the peace within the home, and so I love my mom. I love my dad. They're my rock, and yeah, that's how they inspire me. All right, my experience of being the youngest. I really enjoy being the youngest. Just the fact that I can learn from my siblings. I remember always in the past that I've always followed what they're doing. Whatever they did, I wanted to do too. Besides sleeping, but I wanted to follow what they're doing, and I learned a lot from them. Some of the success and some of the how to avoid some of the pitfalls that they experience. So being one of the youngest is a blessing. I'm learning now how to do more of a leadership kind of role, but I was much of a follower in my younger days, just going with the flow, and I'm learning from other people. And so it's easier for me to sit and listen to other people because I've been kind of doing it for a while. But when I have to execute a leadership, that's a little bit harder for me, but I'm working on it. But yeah, I learned a lot from my brothers and sisters. All right, so my goals for the next 10 years. The first thing, I want to be debt free. And so I'm on this journey of becoming debt free. And so paying down everything, not owing anyone any money or anything like that, just having ownership of everything that I have. So that is my first goal. The second goal is to focus on my health, to get my health in shape, get my knees better, so I can have the quality of life that I'm able to walk and do those things. Like that's one of my goals. And then third will be to be married and to have a family and children, and be able to have a legacy to be able to pass down to my children and their children's children. And And so, yeah, so that is my goal, to be able to have those things set in place so that I can bless and be a blessing to my family, to my husband, to my children, and be a blessing to my community. And last but not least, for career-wise, just to step into the entrepreneur role, and be successful at it, and write books and children's books, and do Bible studies, like to have different things, speak and write songs, like do a lot of different things, and just to kind of walk into my authentic self. A lot of times I'm always scared to be who God created me to be, but I'm learning that I need just to be me. And so I hope in 10 years that I will just fully be myself, and you guys will see the heart of me in everything that I do. So yeah, those are my goals for the next 10 years. I hope you guys enjoyed the Q&A. And got a chance to get to know me personally and talk about my family and my career and all those different things. It was fun. I had a great time. I just want to leave you with a couple encouraging words, and that is it. So just like we were mentioning before, get curious and ask God who you are, and allow God to show who He created you to be. You are special. You are shaped in the hands of God. Like everything else, He spoke, but He diligently worked, and He created us with His hands, with His touch. And so He didn't just speak to us, but He formed us. And so that is something special. And I want you to know that you are special, in God's eye. You are the apple of His eye. And I want us to be confident in that He created us for a purpose, for a plan, and we need to walk boldly in that. And so I'm going to leave you with one quote that I've always loved, and it says, love God, love yourself, and love others. You have to, in order to love anybody, you have to love yourself first. And before you can even love yourself, you got to love God. And so God is ahead, and everything else will follow. And so I encourage you to go and get out, go love on somebody, go shower someone with love, go be the light in this world, go be the salt, and just continue to spread the good news, and just be a blessing to somebody, because someone needs some of your love. And so share it, be blessed, and take care. Living Whole with Che. Please like and subscribe, and I'll see you on the next video.